Welcome to episodes 70? No, 80. To episode 80 of Meet the Gimp. My name is Rolf Steinert and I'm recording this in Bremen, northern Germany. If you go to the Meet the Gimp homepage at meetthegimp080, you'll find a blog entry about an image faking challenge, the Dogma Award 2009. There is a German computer magazine named CT, and they have run an article about image manipulations and how to find out if something is manipulated. They have put out a challenge. The rules aren't out yet, the exact rules, but they will follow. There has been a lot of discussion about manipulated images in the news in the last time. You remember perhaps these nice Iranian rockets where a dud was cloned out, or the smoke over Beirut, or in Germany, Angela Merkel, our Chancellor, without a sweat under her arms, and so on. And the CT has run an article about how to detect image fraud, and now they have put out the challenge. If we, the image manipulation guys, can beat them and their experts. And I think we should try it. Perhaps we can make an effort to put someone from one side of the earth into a scene on the other side or so, and this would be really fun, I think. So I'll think about it, I'll follow this here, and I think if there's interest, I'll start a thread in the forum, and then we'll see if there's interest and if we can join here. I don't think we'll win. There are people who are so good with this, but it would be fun. Some more stuff. You see here we have 2,479 subscribers. I was for 2 days over 2,500, and I would love to go again over this here. So if you are a regular viewer and go to the homepage just to get the video, to download them via this download link here, perhaps you consider to subscribe. Just put your this RSS feed into your browser or your podcatcher. It's simply nice to see this number here growing and growing. Also new is a donations button on the homepage here. This stuff costs a little bit of money, €20 a month for the server and my time and the gadgets I buy for the show, but that's my personal problem. I'm happy about contributions, but don't feel obliged to give me some money. I can cover this, and up to now the show has been covered up from the event with the server and the domain where I ask for your help. And just now it's paid for up to February, mid of February. So if you want to help a little bit out, just press a button, or if you're in Europe and know what IBAN BIC is with your Giro, then just ask me for the numbers. I'll happy to send them to you. Don't misunderstand this. I don't want to make money off this, but I think it's nice when I only put the time into here and don't pay on top of it. If you're not completely new to the show, you'll know that writing a script for GIMP isn't that difficult. And we have one guy in the forum. You can reach the forum at forum.meetthegimp.org or via the link on the homepage. We have one Ray Adagio, or Bird, and he is a forum wizard. I have put in here script magic and in residence for the forum, but he says he is more in training, but I think it's quite good, the stuff he does. And he has a new script here. Just want to show it another way of rotation. You remember this rotation tool with the grid? You just put the grid over your image and then you turn the grid until it fits. He has a better way. Just place 2 points on a line or edge of an image and then run the dialog free rotation script. That's all. Well, we have to see how this works out. Okay, I just download this file here. So I've downloaded the file. There was a little glitch. It had the name of HTML, the extension of HTML. It should be py, Python. And you see here the file in the text mode. Of course, a way to finding out how to install Python scripts is also in the forum. You find it here, photography software. We have a really extended menu system here, and script Python Perl scheme. Here, how install Python scripts. Go down a bit, and here is a link to an old blog entry. You could use the search function in Meet the GIMP also. So, what shall we do? We have to copy it into GIMP 2.6. It should read 2.6 here. Perhaps I should change this here. And plugins. And then I shall make a change here. On my Linux system, I have to give executable files the right to be executed. It's a bit safer than under Windows, because a virus or so it cannot easily make itself executable here. So I have to use the plugins directory in my GIMP folder. Well, here's my GIMP folder, and I don't have a plugins. Well, let's create one. And here, plugins. And just paste the file in here and right-click on it. There's another way, properties. You can do this, I think, in every operating system. Executing as a program. Okay, but this isn't enough, because GIMP doesn't know about this option. I can go here to Preferences, and here to Folders. Here is my temporary folder, my swap folder, and if I expand this here, I see something here about plugins. This is strange. I just looked here, and I had only this line here. This is a system-wide file, and as a simple user on this system, I wouldn't be able to write the file there, and I don't want to do such stuff as a super user, as a root or administrator. So this GIMP is so good. Just looked, oh, I have this folder now, and I'll include it. Okay, thank you very much. And well, the folder is new. For making this script now available, I had to restart GIMP. And now let's look here at Image, Transform, and here we have this rotation script. But we have to make some adjustments first. So let's look. What does Bird say about the use? I have to set 2 points. The points are easily set by using the Pass tool. First, press B to activate the tool, then do single left clicks. Don't hold the mouse while moving. After placing the second point, a line appears between both points. If you drag the end points, you can adjust the position of the line. Well, let's try this. This image should be perfectly straight here. It's the final image, a paid job. We have a fair trade shop across the road, and they asked us to make some images of the stuff for a Christmas handout, and we did it for free, of course, but well, they gave us a bag of rice for this here. So this is really paid work. So let's look. Press B. This is the Pass tool, and click. click. Now I can adjust this here. Okay, and now I go to Image, Transform, Rotation here. Image rotation, and let's wait. It does a rotation. And here it is, and absolutely level. Really cool. So go to the forum, download this file. I'll put a link into it into the show notes, and I think I'll put a link into the show notes because these files are always evolving. And if I put it into the companion file to this episode, it would be always the old version. So I think, but you are not in training anymore. You are officially here. Meet the GIMP script wizard. Another thing Ray came up with, and that is sharpening an LAB color space. He has found this in Welcome to Oz, this fabulous book by Vincent Versace, which I had covered sometimes in the show, and I will cover again. There, Vincent writes that sharpening in the LAB color space, and there sharpening the lightness channel, is the best way to sharpen a lot of images. And of course, Bert has written a script to do this job. If you want to know more about LAB and haven't seen episode 55, just go to episode 55 and learn things about Labland. To cut this short, LAB is very nice, very intuitive, but not usable with 8-bit software like GIMP. And, well, we kind of found this out here. We then had a lengthy discussion about which differences there are between the lightness channel in LAB. This is the lightness channel in LAB of this RGB image, and this is the value channel of the HSV color model. The stuff you can set GIMP to with the value layer and so on. But you see the difference with your eye here. This is way more different, has way more differences in it, softer image than this one here. And also the histograms differ between the V channel and the LAB channel, the L channel from LAB. So sharpening with the V channel from HSV should be not so much different from sharpening the L channel, but not the same. Okay, we tried it. Better, Ray tried it. He published an image with layers sharpened in RGB and the L channel and with the V channel. So to make this a little bit tricky, he didn't say which layer was which. So let's have a look. This is one of the images, and this the other one. And these images are really big, about 3800 by 2000 pixels. If you look into the details by pressing 1 here, then you see that the image is, well, it's good, but it's a little bit mushy. And this has to be sharpened. Bert has provided us with 3 layers here, 3 additional layers, each one containing one of the 3 sharpening ways. This, and this. They are all different. One is LAB sharpening, one is HSV sharpening, and the third one is RGB sharpening. To show you the differences between these methods, I have cut out a little bit of a typical part of the image here. You see, this here is the unchanged image, and this here is sharpened with HSV and the value channel. And you see here there is definitely a halo around this iron here. This looks quite good here, and the texture here is also good. Let's switch on LAB. LAB has a lot more halo here, and the overall thing is it's gritty. It has a great promise here in the window. Let me switch this off. You see here there's way more structure in it, but it looks gritty, and this grittiness and perhaps also this halo, these are artifacts from converting in 8-bit number space, and well, 8-bit are not enough for this stuff of work. So let's look at RGB. So RGB looks nice too. Here it is nice. Let's switch this off here, LAB off. Now I can compare RGB and HSV. A little bit, well, I think the HSV method is a little bit better than the RGB method. Let's have a look at another part of this image here. You can find these images here at for download in the companion file, and in the companion file to episode 78. I'll put a link into the show as usual, but if you have already downloaded the companion file to episode 78, you don't need this again. So let me switch this off here. Here we have the background, quite mushy, a different type of image compared to this one here. Here we have a lot of really sharp lines, and here a really big contrast. This is quite different here. We have here also contrast, but we have here a structure in the stone. And let's compare HSV, LAB and RGB. Again here LAB has some really difficulties in the details, and so we can forget about LAB until we have 16-bit. So let's compare here RGB or LAB. Here I would HSV. Here I would prefer the HSV method, and I think for this image here HSV sharpening would be preferable. But there was another one, this coffee pot, this coffee mug, and I've also cut a little bit out of that, and let's have a look. You see here again we have two different areas. Here this stuff here, grit, is this rusty area with lines and colors, and so it needs sharpening, but well, it shouldn't be too sharp. And here we have this part of the image where white just hits onto red, and if we just go into this area and enlarge this, you see here we have white, and then we have a gradient down to red, and this should be red, white. So back to our image in 100%, and now let's look. This is RGB sharpening. Look here. Here we have a little bit of an artifact, but this here looks pretty good. LAB, horrible. This introduces here a lot of stuff that really isn't there, and this kills the image. This here, this kills the image. Also, if you look here, okay, you could do some one thing. You could just reduce the brightness and tone this down. I would advise to do that also in the other sharpening methods here, but LAB, we can forget it until we have 16-bit. So let's look at HSV. HSV on and RGB on. Here I have mixed feelings. I think RGB is better for this area here, RGB sharpening, and HSV is better for this one here. But let's have a look at our critical area here. So this is HSV sharpening, and this is RGB sharpening. You see, the sharpening is stronger here, but we have also more artifacts living here. This has been without sharpening. This has been without sharpening. This area has been simply red, and with sharpening, all this tiny stuff here, these tiny differences, have been exaggerated. So HSV has a little bit better of a performance here. Conclusion? Well, as always, it depends. Forget LAB sharpening until we have 16-bit and see if sharpening in HSV or RGB is better for you. Perhaps I can propose a little addition to the script: selective sharpening. The script does extract the value channel from the image. So let's do this here. I'll take this image here as my model. Let me make these here invisible, and now I want to have the value channel of this here. The script would do this work for me here. And so I go to colors, and where was it? Components, of course. Components, decompose. Okay, I select HSV as my color model. I could go to LAB here, and I decompose to layers. Okay. And here we have the image. This is the hue layer, where the color information is encoded. I don't want to sharpen that. This is the saturation layer. I don't want to sharpen that. And here is my value channel. I want to sharpen this channel, but not all of it. Just the stuff that has a real edge, and not the stuff that has these very tiny differences. So I just double this layer, have here value copy, and sharpen it as Ray Bert has done it. I go to Enhance, Unsharp Mask, and like him I choose here 2, radius 2, amount 3, and threshold 1. Perhaps there are better values, but I want to use the same values he did. So click on it, and here it is. See the difference here? Quite a difference. And now I want to add a mask to this, a mask that emphasizes the edges and leaves the areas alone. So I make another copy of this one here, and go to, let me make this invisible. I go to Filters, Edge Detect, and there to Edge. This is a simple way of the simple Edge Detect algorithm. There are others in the menu, but let's take this one here. I have not looked into the others. And I'll leave it as it is here. I like this here. Just amount 2. I can go up with the amount to get just more into this, get this brighter. And there are some algorithms. We'll leave it at Sobel. I have no really idea what the others do. Just do this here. Okay. Now I select everything in this image, Ctrl A, and copy it. Make this invisible. Go to here. This is my sharpened image. Let me switch this on. This is the sharpened value. And here I say Add Layer Mask. And I want to have this filled with white. I click on the layer mask, say show layer mask to show you the effect, and I press Ctrl V and Ctrl H for bolting this down. Now I have here the layer mask, and now this layer mask leaves only the part of the image here visible where it is white. You see here, oh, well, you can't see it, of course. I just put a new layer into it. It's an easy way to see what there really is. You see here, just there where this one is white, where the areas here are white, this is visible here. These areas are unaffected. This here is a pretty strong effect, and so I just want to blur this a little bit. Go to blur, blur. Okay. This is now not so harsh, and we can switch this off. And now if you compare this here, this is with sharpening, without sharpening, with sharpening, without, with sharpening. And now I switch off the layer mask, and you see the whole sharpened image. You see there's a lot more sharpening in it. So let's switch that back on. Where is it here? Show layer mask, disable layer mask. So the layer mask is on now. I have to delete this one here. I have to merge this layer. I have to delete this one here, and I have to apply the layer mask. Now you see here this is nearly empty, this image, and now I merge down. It's out of your way here. And now I merge down and have my image with the sharpened edges. The last thing I have to do is to go to Colors, Components, Compose. I could use Recompose, but Recompose is not really the option here because I forgot to double the layer. I should have started the decomposition on a separate layer. I've forgotten about that. So I go to Colors, Components, and don't choose Recompose, which would make the old layer out of these three images here. I go to Compose, and here we have the right values. Okay. Well, perhaps I should have looked a little bit more closely. So again, Colors, Components, Compose, and here we have the culprit, HSV, here hue, saturation value. Okay, now we are right on here. And here is the new image. Now I want to have my new sharpened image here as an additional layer on the original, and this is easy. I just go to this image here and just pull this thumbnail on top of this here. Okay, here we have the background copy, and rename it and to selective HSV. Okay, let's compare. This is my sharpening. This is the sharpening with without the mask, and you see there is a difference. And just now I can't really say if I like this more here, perhaps a little bit dimmed down, or if I like my approach here with the selective sharpening, which leaves a lot of these areas here out of the sharpening. So sharpening is really a big thing, and you can take again n photographers together to discuss this, and you get n+1 solutions. The unsharp mask algorithm, which I used for sharpening here, deserves another episode. I did one once, but well, let's do one again. And if you want to know more about this selective sharpening, go to, I think, episode 6, or just follow the link in the show notes. And I think this was it for today. 2 days late because I had a lot of work to do for school, and my eyes are acting up again a bit. But that is covered now. And I hope to see you again next. I think I can promise it. And I think I can promise it next Tuesday. Goodbye.
photocastnetwork.com, your photography resource in the potosphere. photocastnetwork.com